as Pooh Bear would say, it's a blustery day. We're glad you're here this morning, and it is potluck day, and I actually made something, so I was very excited to be here. I'm not telling you what it is in case you don't like it. Wow. And welcome, everyone. I have to remember to tell you who are with us online. We love you, and you're here with us in spirit, even though you're not here in person. Yeah, so today, Reverend Maur is going to do a little class for anyone who wants it about introduction to Centers for Spiritual Living and our teaching. So if you are unfamiliar with all of that, that's a really good time to go and ask questions and find out just what we're all about. And mostly we know what we're all about, right? Yeah. And the Christmas tree is here and decorating. So any of you who want to get some potluck food downstairs, it's a big day today. Potluck food, introduction class, and decorating the tree. So pick your fun, and of course the food first, and then all the rest of it. Prayer request form. There was a little something different on that, so I stopped. Good morning. For prayer requests and also any comments that you want to make, there's a space on there for that. So it's the purple form in front of you. So take advantage of that. If you have, in addition to your prayer requests, if you have any comments or requests or just anything you want to say. Yeah. I was going to make a smart remark, but I'm going to be really good today, so I won't do that. So welcome, Blaine and Annie, and new grandma. So yeah, she had a new baby. Yeah. Yeah,
She's a month old. She's pretty new.
Yeah. So congratulations, Annie. So let us stand and
let's
sing.
stand and sing. Today's about surrender, and we are going to release and let go with your voice and your body and your energy. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let that Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let that Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Which is here for each other, since we are all God. Okay, just quiet now, sitting in your pew, just coming, closing your eyes, softening your eyes, going inside as we prepare for prayer. How could anyone ever tell were less than whole. How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Now let's look around and sing that to somebody.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Good morning. How can we ever forget that we are whole? How can we ever not notice that we are beautiful in the eyes of God, that we are perfection in God's eyes? We are made just the way we're supposed to be. And all of the things that we travel down this path with, all of our journey is reflected in the wholeness of spirit. And so knowing this on this lovely, gorgeous day, with the rain coming down, nourishing the earth, and knowing that everything is unfolding just as it should, that we are, in the eyes of God, everything that we need to be. And so knowing this, we just know that we are peace, that we are love, we are life, we are light, and we are joy, and absolutely we are beauty. And we reflect these in our daily lives when we show the world the innate spirit that is us, that everything within us is whole, perfect, and complete. And so knowing this, I am so full of gratitude for all those present, whether online or here in the chapel, and know that we are just so grateful for all the prosperity and all of the abundance that everyone brings to this chapel. And so knowing this, I release my word to the law, knowing everything is unfolding in divine right order. So please join me now in saying, and so it is. I'd just like to read the affirmation, the group affirmation. It's in blue in your program. Begin. As I release what no longer serves me, I create a space and a place for a new chapter to unfold, and my life reflects my highest good. And so it is.
Good morning. Today's reading sinks very well into that affirmation we just did, and the writer exhorts us to be someone. And She uses a quote from the philosopher playwright Oscar Wilde, who said, "Be yourself, everyone else is taken." And Ernest Holmes had this to say, "God is over all, in all, and through all. God is right where I am. I am at peace with myself." And today's writer goes on to say, in Houston, Texas, there's a famous bit of graffiti on a railroad overpass as you're driving south into downtown. It says, "Be somebody," in blocky capital letters. Dozens, if not hundreds of times, other graffiti has been painted over it, but it always returns. Some entrepreneurial someone made T-shirts of it, and the writer says that she has 2 of them. This simple message resonates with people. We've been given this human lifetime and invited to do something with it. Part of the someone we are invited to be is already within us. Our soul, our individualized expression of spirit. And part of it is waiting for us to create something new. We have agency, we have choice, and these dual invitations to someoneness are not at odds, but rather they serve one another. When we shed enough of our conditioning to sense our innate, unique qualities, good and bad, the process leads and informs us in what we might do with this one wild and precious life. Today, be courageous in letting go of your patterns of thought and behavior that are not authentic, that are not you. And listen deeply for what your soul invites you to do so that you can be the someone who will most free and fulfill you. And we have an affirmation to close this, and it goes as follows. I listen to the authentic voice of my being. I choose to live from this deep and genuine place within. I make decisions, take actions, and speak words that honor the someone who I am.
I have to say, for as many years as Blaine and I have been doing this, I still am astounded when the music layers so beautifully on the message and the affirmations. And so I was called to sing this song. It's by Karen Drecker, and she wrote it at a time when she realized that she was letting go of old stories. Letting go, surrender. And one of the stories that I think a lot of us carry is that we're not good enough, or we're not enough. So I would like to provide this opportunity for you to surrender to an old story or old stories, whatever's coming up for you now as we close 2025, and we are creating something new in 2026. So I invite you to sing along as you hear the chorus. Claim your power, embody your light that you carry, because we are enough. Uh-oh. Hold on, technical difficulty. Okay. We are enough. I was a little girl who never spoke her mind. I wouldn't rock the boat, I couldn't cross the line. But every step that I've taken, every pain, every tear has brought me to the place where I'm standing right here. I got so tired of living, giving myself away, always looking for someone to tell me I was okay. But I got to the place where I could trust my heart. It was the perfect place for a brand new start. Here I am in my power. Here I am in my power. Here I am in my power. Here I am. Here I am. And here we are in our power. Here we are in our power. Oh, here we are in our power. Here we are. Here I am. I am a warrior. I am invincible. I am strong as steel, and I am capable. And I'm soft as a feather, light and free. And the truth I know, healing begins with me. It begins with me. So here I am in my power. Oh, here I stand in my power. All that power. Here I stand in my power. Here we are. Here I am. Here I stand. Here I stand. Here I stand. And with all that I've been through, there ain't nothing I can do. And here we stand. Oh, here we stand in our power. Our power. Here we stand in our power. It's us. Here we stand in our power. Here we stand. Here I stand. Here I stand. I stand. Here I stand. Here I stand. Here we stand. Here we stand. And with all that we've been through, there ain't nothing we can't do. So here we stand. Here we stand.
Here I stand. Well, if I were standing on a battlefield somewhere, what would that mean to you? I surrender. I give up. I'm done. Right? I'm ready to be a prisoner of war or something. But now, if I were to show you a flag like this, what would you say that says? Love. And what does this one say? Can you read it? No? It says the same as this one over here. It says peace. So I'm just demonstrating this morning the difference between surrendering as defeat and surrendering as acceptance. Surrendering as defeat is a very human thing to do and perhaps has to be done at certain times. But when we talk about surrendering into newness, we're talking about accepting something new like peace and joy and love. You know, the traditional notion of defeat was clearly in use in the last few centuries. So I'll skip through that and just take a quick look at the notion of surrender as it appears in the scriptures, in the Gospels and the stories of the Christian tradition. How many of you remember what happened to Adam and Eve when they dared disobey the direct order of Elohim Yahweh, God? They ate of the tree of life. Yeah. The man was destined forever to work by the sweat of his brow, and the woman was destined forever to have pain and childbirth. So terrible consequences in some ways. How about the story of Abraham sacrificing his son and only stayed at the last moment by the hand of an angel? Obedience. And Jesus in Gethsemane said, Father, if you're willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done. So he's giving complete control away from what is within him. Pretty stark stuff, this biblical notion of surrender. But in our teaching, surrender is quite different. It means acceptance. It means embracing and courting that indwelling presence of Spirit that lives within us and lives through us. It is not subjugation through fear of a judging, punishing God. You see, we acknowledge divine intelligence, the one life, the creative law that we call God. God is a principle, not an arbitrary and fearsome potentate. Rather, God is the very substance and mind of the universe, and God is all there is. It is in us. Remember that the highest most God and the innermost God is one God. Very basic principle. So we surrender to the interior energy, the life of the divine within us, to Spirit itself. And this leads us to cultivate the divine qualities in our lives: love, peace, joy, intelligence, happiness, power, and even more. In his Science of Mind textbook, Ernest, on page 405, Ernest Holmes writes, love alone can overcome fear because love surrenders itself to Spirit. The will of Spirit is peace, clear thinking, and happiness. Sometimes we become so focused on our particular viewpoint and our particular convictions that we ignore what is of larger interest. We find ourselves swimming against the mighty and wonderful current of the law. This struggle is, I call, a little self struggle. We sometimes call it ego. This little part of ourselves just cries out, I must be in control. Oh, I must solve that problem immediately. I must force it to happen. But this intense cry really comes from a self that is detached from universal intelligence. And when detached, our personality will create friction, anxiety, and struggle. And that really creates a cloud between the intent of infinite mind to manifest as a perfect result, because we place our thoughts, our preferences, that which we think is so terribly important, upon the law. And the law always responds with the magic word, yes. And so we create limitation, separation, and struggle. And actually, we're kind of, in a way, trying to outsmart God. Now, how is that possible? Well, enough about the word surrender for the moment. Let's take a look at the word new. Our title today is Surrendering into Newness. What does that new mean? Well, Merriam-Webster dictionary says, newness simply means something that is recent, just showed up, not previously existing. Oh, it's brand new, it's been created, a new scientific thing or a new toy or a new Xbox, maybe? I don't know. Or maybe something that's introduced to us for the first time. It can describe a wide range of things, from objects and ideas to experiences and concepts that are fresh, novel, or original. And we might add that newness can apply to ways of living. Yeah. Change is a constant. I think we heard that earlier this morning, suggesting a break from the past. And I've noticed for myself and for others how I've changed over the years. In New Thought, newness is frequently considered to be ancient wisdom in modern form. What is always new in New Thought is the living presence of Spirit, which eternally creates anew, living always in the present moment, and it is there for us to wake up to by living in that present moment. I think I'll take a little drink here this morning. Pure water. Good. Almost all the great saints and mystics have experienced surrender to the new. Take Buddha, for example. Living in his extreme asceticism, he moved to the middle way. Jesus, living his life as a craftsman, perhaps as a carpenter, a stonemason, and all that, for the chance to enter his traveling ministry. Gandhi, leaving his law practice to lead nonviolent protests against colonialism. Joan of Arc, leaving her village to lead the armies of France, and this in the Middle Ages. Mother Teresa, leaving her home in Macedonia, and again leaving the Sisters of Loreto after 20 years of teaching in India to found her own work to help with the poorest of the poor in Calcutta. There are so many examples of famous people who became famous when ordinary lives were transformed through service and compassion, for they became luminaries of love in the human landscape. But surrendering to the divine call that arises within our souls is not solely the trait of the famous. No, it's part of our everyday life. It's part of living, of being alive. I'd like to share some personal stories this morning. One of them is this. And here I think surrender really means acceptance. About a week ago or so, during Thanksgiving, Vicki and I were in Roseburg, my wife and I, celebrating Thanksgiving with family. One of the things we are grateful for was the presence of our great-grandkids, all four of them, from ages 1 to 6. They are a noisy lot. This required us to surrender to noise. Now, not only the kids, but the parents all have loud voices. Stop that. Quit hitting your brother. It's his turn to take the toy and use it. Oh, yeah. And don't forget about Ella and Sadie, the dogs. Ella is a German Shepherd, and Sadie is a very friendly mixed breed, kind of a light brown color. They will often say, "Stop that, Sadie. Come here." Or they will say things like, "Ella, don't do that." And very loud and very different. Now, of course, children of themselves are just naturally noise generators, aren't they? When they're playing the games and disputing the use of certain toys and the parental interventions, it all gets to be quite a clamor. Now, I, for one, am not a fan of loud noises. Well, except maybe for when we make a joyful noise unto the Lord, as we were singing this morning. That's beautiful. Or when our chorus that I sing in, the Senators, sings forte and strong and has beautiful harmonies. That's pleasant and uplifting. But life is made up of compromises and adjustments. With the chorus, it's easy, and with our singing, it's easy here at the chapel. With the kids in the family, it required surrendering enjoyment of quiet, embracing the noise as a natural expression of the exuberant life which is going on among growing families. Now, it was nice not to have to correct, coerce, or control the youngsters. That job fell to noisy parents and occasionally to grandparents who were hosting the Thanksgiving, but not to great-grandparents. We just enjoyed the miasma of life swirling around us as we surrendered to the noise and savored life itself. We are grateful to be included in family gatherings. I ran across a little story I'd like to share with you this morning. I hope you find it humorous. This is spoken by, I suppose, a Catholic or a Lutheran, or someone who has priests around. My priest once told me a true story about another priest. That was quite funny. The priest he was talking about was newly ordained and was asked to officiate a wedding for a couple wanting to marry in the church. So he agreed. This was the first wedding he was to officiate. He was advised by another cleric that if at any point you forget the words, then just quote scripture and it'll work out for you, hopefully. On the day of the wedding, the ceremony went very well until the priest forgot the final blessing. Thinking back to what he was advised, he decided to quote scripture. However, due to a momentary brain fog and confusion, the only Bible verse he could conjure up was, "Forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they do." Well, there's a certain aspect of that in all of life, isn't there? We never know what's going to happen when we get up to speak. Sometimes you just have to laugh and go on with it. I have another personal story. My granddaughter just turned 21 last Friday. I called and left her a message and sang happy birthday to her, and she later called me back, and we talked for quite some time. Now, my granddaughter is in New York City at Columbia University, and getting there was a story all its own, which I won't go through. But when she was first, installed in her apartment, her mom and dad came and helped her move in and get things aligned and all that. But then they left, and she felt very lonely. She felt very homesick. She felt like, oh, I've made a mistake. She had considered OSU, Oregon State University, her dad's own alma mater, and this place. They decided on Columbia for financial reasons. It's a lot cheaper. Would you believe that? To go to Columbia? It was $20,000 a year tuition and whatever, versus $37,000 at OSU. Yeah, it was crazy. I found that kind of amazing. Anyway, but she's at this great place. But I remember when she came home for the Christmas break, she was talking about, well, maybe I'll just transfer to Oregon State. But she finally decided to go back. You see, she'd made several acquaintances in that first semester, 16 weeks, but it really didn't come to much until she came back. And she said, you know, what happened was I decided, like you use that word surrender, I decided to surrender to the fact that I'm living in New York. There are great benefits here. There are wonderful people here. There's a church that I enjoy, what was it called? St. Paul and St. Andrew, a Methodist church. I love to sing there and be there. I'm going to accept it. And then, sure enough, of the 16 of the acquaintances that she had made, some have become very close friends. They do a lot of things together, and the church actually is a second family to her. This nicely illustrates some of the positive life changes that come from accepting rather than fighting the flow of life. Now, what does the act of surrender consist of? Well, on the personal level, once we've done all that we can to address the situation and made our plans and laid it all out, then we consciously release the details. We declare that I know the good I desire is rooted in divine love and law. I surrender my anxiety about how it will appear. I release the conditions and the timelines. We don't give up on the desire. We don't give up on the intention. We don't give up on the goodness, but we give up on the limitations we have put over it. We put them aside. We opened ourselves to the creative flow of law. to the power of the universe to create, to that individual spiritual embodiment that is within us and makes us even more alive and better. We realize that my body is whole and I affirm the perfection of my life. My supply is abundant. My relationships are harmonious. We speak the truth into the law, knowing that the law is simply a perfect mirror representing the image and reflecting the image we impress upon it. In that way, we anchor ourselves in newness. By surrendering the effort, we land directly in the eternal now. This is a state of perfect completion. The universe doesn't know tomorrow or if only, it knows now. So to surrender is to say the answer is already completed in the law. To live in newness is to say, I receive the truth of that answer now. Yes, this is a practice of non-resistance. Yes, it is. Perfection rushes in to fill the vacuum that was created by letting go of fear. Mahatma Gandhi would say, when you surrender completely to God as the only truth worth having, you find yourself in a service of all that exists. Service of all that exists. It becomes your joy and recreation. So we can enter into the glorious newness that follows. We're having fun down there. I think I hear it too. We have a growler in the crowd. Huh? I've heard of growlers they take to taverns, but not to church, you know? I don't know. When we surrender into nowness and newness, we stop clinging to the old and give up on lack and struggle and become receptive to the newness. The new life is not a future possibility. It's a spiritual fact of our being. It's always available. If we surrender anxiety, we accept the newness of peace. If we surrender belief in lack, we welcome the newness of flow and supply. And when we surrender our judgment, we allow the newness of love and wholeness. As Buddha is reputed to have said, just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our past over and over again. Change is never painful. Only the resistance to change is painful. I have another personal story. This is a kind of personal morning to tell you that has an impact on our beloved community. I call it my glorious newness. It is a story of surrender into newness. For several months, I have been contemplating changes to my life. I have been feeling the natural effects of aging. Well, that's what I do. May not look like it, but I do. Slowing down, forgetting things, sometimes words, whatever. I think that none of us are quite the same as we were at that young age, 40, 30, 20, 10 years ago, even a year ago. And life around us changes too. My life has changed. My wife, Vicki, as most of you know, is moving much slower now. The effects of Parkinson's are evident. Arthritis and scoliosis has their impact. In short, she relies more on me and family, more than she did, I would say 5 years ago, but more than she did even 6 months or 3 months ago. I clearly love the chapel. 50 years as a member come January the 1st. 35 years as a minister here. The last 12 as senior minister. Testify to that. I have given of my time and talent and treasure in significant measure. One of the things about being senior minister that I've tried to focus on over the years, and it's in my letter of call or job description, whatever you want to call it, is to create a community that loves one another and loves the world. Another key role of being a senior minister is to encourage the development of leaders in our community. I feel that both of these goals have been met. I've met them. All of this brings me to the decision to step away from my ministerial duties here at the chapel and use the word retire. I don't know if ministers ever really retire, but we rewire. Thank you, Michelle. That's a good word. I was debating with myself and sometimes with others, when would be a good time to do that? I was thinking, well, how about the end of this year or how about the end of February? Do you guys have an opinion on that at all? End of February, you like? End of oh, thank you, Shannon. How about the end of December? It's the new beginning. It captures the spirit of the new year, gives you a chance to rev up the activities in the chapel and get moving. So that's the one, at least for now, I've decided on. By the end of this month, I'm going to retire, rewire, and get moving. I'm going to accept some of these wonderful gifts of peace and love and goodness and all that sort of thing. By the way, I have several flags here, and if someone would like them afterwards, you may claim one. You can claim a white one, too. There are a few things to finish up here, and one of them, I understand, is we're supposed to have a great, big, fun retirement party. I don't know when that's going to happen. Is anybody? Surprise. It'll be a surprise. Oh, we'll know the next day. Right after it's held, they'll tell me, and I missed that one. I've asked myself, what newness am I surrendering into? Well, definitely more time with my wife, children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. That will be part of it. Vicki would like to take a road trip south. Now, considering the weather, I'm not sure exactly when that'll happen, but she wants to do that, and I think we should while we're able to travel. We will schedule a cruise or two. We have planned a graduation trip for a grandchild who will be graduating from high school in June. You know, I might just get more sleep. Who knows? Maybe I'll even begin to exercise regularly more than I do. I do yoga every morning. I do that, but I'd like to do more exercise. I hopefully will not be doing too much more eating than I do now. The temptation is to grow in many ways when that happens. Anyway, I believe this newness will be fun, and I will miss all of you. Other than these factors, I really will be entering in a time of the mystery of life. I will remain a member of this Center for Spiritual Living, and you will likely see much more of me when we settle into a harmonious daily routine between myself and Vicki and the family. Now, newness and surrendering into newness doesn't just apply to me. It just doesn't apply to great saints or great people. It applies to everybody. So let's all stand in this truth today, not as seekers, but as finders. Let's declare the perfection of the moment, for in this newness all things are possible. We are safe, we are guided, we are wholly and completely provided for. And that is the truth. I'd like to conclude our message this morning with some affirmations of truth. And if you'd like to join me by repeating them, I would be thrilled. Shall we do that? Yeah. You game? Yeah. Okay. I surrender to newness in my life. I am strong, resilient, and competent. I invite Spirit to guide my future. I am joyful and energetic. I am living out my soul's purpose. I love you. And so it is. That's our talk for today. Namaste.
Reverend Moore, I want a hug.
Oh, sure.
All right.
We're going on
So
next.
we know what we do now, right?
They're supposed to,
Some music.
they're supposed to sing.
Yeah. We're with.
Okay. I'm almost on. Now I'm turning on my ears. There we go. So, once you've surrendered, the next phase is acceptance. And acceptance means something new is coming. Just don't know what it is yet. Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. All I know, it's gonna be everything new. There it is. I'm through with crying. I'm through with waiting. I'm through with hoping against all hope. I'm through with longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I've learned, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for the next thing to do. All I know is gonna be everything new. I'm through with grieving. I'm through with dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's time, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do, and all I know is gonna be everything new. And I've survived many times before, broken hearts and slamming doors, and I'll be alright. Yes, I can nuts door like I did back then. I'm gonna rise again. Let's put our hands together. We'll bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for the next thing to do. All I know is gonna be everything new. So bring it on. New, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. And all I know is gonna be everything new. And all I know, it's gonna be everything new.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That was so perfect, Blaine. Well, I know Maura's been contemplating retirement, and I didn't know till this morning what day he had selected. And even though I knew he was going to retire, and I'm feeling really sad this morning because I am not adept at change, so, or surrender or all that. And you have given so much to this center in every single way possible. And I might as well tell you right now, I have retired twice. As a minister, it doesn't really work. So,
I suspect as much.
yeah. I expect after all of your travels and your joy and all the things you have planned that you will be right back here. So
I plan to be back.
yeah, so
Yes.
a lot of feelings around that, and thank you so much. And for the rest of everyone, we have been aware that Maur is contemplating retirement. Just didn't know when. And so in the process for us not just all of a sudden being standing here, we're not knowing what to do, we have formed a transition team that's been meeting periodically and to move forward with how we're going to move forward without Reverend Maur. And it's there's really phenomenal leadership here. I've been involved in churches for God knows how long, and I've seen healthy churches and unhealthy churches and good leadership and not so good leadership. But the board of trustees here is really good, and there's a minister and practitioner team here that is really quite phenomenal. So know
I'd
that
like to butt in just for a minute and agree with that we have outstanding leadership team here between all of our board members and our practitioners, our ministers. Don will be still here, and Julius will be here. So I'm not leaving you without. I'm leaving you in good hands, the hands of our board of trustees and all those who volunteer so much and give so much, because all of you are giving people.
Yeah, thank you. And we're prepared. We're prepared for this. So anyway, at least we're prepared, but maybe not emotionally. But
Well, maybe not that
yeah.
far. But
And-
most all the duties have been delegated out already. I'm trying to think if there's some that haven't. If they come up, they will be.
You will delegate it. So yeah. So yeah, all I can do is thank you for your many, many years of service to the 50 years
Yep.
you've been here. Wow. 50 years. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
All
there will
right.
be a party and celebration, so everyone will
All
know.
right. Are we going to do an offering today?
Yeah, maybe we'll get around to
That's
that.
part, yeah.
So
That's part of it. The
this
gift of
is the
Lord.
time in our service for the offertory, but I think there was something really important that happened today, so you got to just give us some time on this. So yeah, this is the time in our service for our offertory where we share back our time and our treasure, really, where we share our treasure. And so, wow, there's an offertory affirmation in your bulletin, and let's say that together with meaning. Divine love moving in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
And so it is.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Let the amen come from deeply within your soul this morning as you realize the tremendous gifts and blessings that are possible and express themselves so easily and routinely here at Woodland Chapel Center for Spiritual Living here in Salem. We are a center of light, a center of love, a center of comfort, a center urging the world around us to change and become more peaceful and loving and supportive of all people everywhere here in our own community, yes, but worldwide. So we join in a universal acclamation of thanksgiving as we close this brief prayer by saying all together, and so it is. Let's stand now, and we can go to our prayer of protection. I think everyone here knows it's in the program. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. There we are. God is, and all is well. Let's sing our peace song by joining hands together and knowing peace for the world.
I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm